What's up, guys? Shake Around Roll coming back at you in another video, and today we're back on the channel and we're doing something a little bit different today. Something that I've not done, and today we're going to be redrafting the 2017 NFL Draft. I put a decent amount of time into this, did some research, what teams needed at the time compared to what they need today, who the best players turned out to be today. Let's hop into this. The Browns at number 1. Obviously, you get Baker Mayfield the next year, right? But he was never, he has not been elite in the time for the Browns. And the overall generational talent from this draft class has been so far Patrick Mahomes. Yes, there have been other great players from this draft class, but Patrick Mahomes is the best one, and the Browns are just absolutely thrilled to get him. Now at 2, the 49ers could potentially get Deshaun Watson here and set themselves a few years in the future without Jimmy Garoppolo. But Jimmy Garoppolo was decent at the time. He would eventually go on to bring the 49ers to a Super Bowl appearance. If you get Watson, you probably win the Super Bowl, but I don't know. I just think Myles Garrett is too much to pass up here. See me this as a D lineman. He was the best player in this draft coming out. And the 49ers are thrilled that he goes not number 1 overall. And then you could potentially in the future also get Nick Bosa if you're the Niners, which would be good. And now the Bears at 3. This is very easy for me. It's Deshaun Watson. You get your franchise quarterback that the Bears have just never really had. And correct your mistake when you took Mitchell Trubisky, number 2 overall. At 4, the Jags. When you look at, this is the year the Jags made their miraculous run to the AFC Championship game. And when you look at who's available, TJ Watt's available, right? But they had the Saxonville defense. You do not really need another defensive player. The offense was what struggled and ultimately didn't get them there. And I feel like if you had a guy like Cooper Kupp, you probably could have made it to the Super Bowl. Because, truly, Blake Bortles does not have anyone to throw the ball to. Understand that Blake Bortles is not anything special, but what he had at receiver was not special either. And Cooper Kupp is truly a special player. And now at 5, the Titans, they don't even resist anymore. They just take the best player available in TJ Watt here. They don't know how he escape top 4. I personally don't either. He's been so good for the Steelers. Titans snag him at 5. The Jets at 6. I think they made the right pick in this spot. You take Jamal Adams. He was unbelievable for the Jets as a rookie, and unbelievable with his time with the Jets. And honestly, he was phenomenal with the Jets and has been subpar for the Seahawks. The Jets are thrilled that they get Jamal Adams in this redraft here. The Chargers at 7. I think you go tackle here if you're the Chargers. Phillip Rivers had a pretty bad O-line throughout his tenure with the Chargers. Maybe you get Ryan Ramczyk here. You went with Mike Williams in this spot previously. Mike Williams is not a bad player, but he's not a top 7 player in the draft by any means as well. He will be going later in this draft, but Ryan Ramczyk has been great for the Saints. Chargers get some protection up front. Panthers at 8. I also think they, like the Jets, made the right pick here. Christian McCaffrey has been the Panthers' offense. When he's on the field, McCaffrey is probably the best running back in the NFL. He is the Panthers' offense, and has been since he came to Carolina. The Panthers made the right pick. Now, on the other hand, the Bengals did not make the right pick here, but they do fix their pass defense. They had Marshawn Lattimore this year instead of Eli Apple out there. They probably win the Super Bowl. Marshawn Lattimore will be on that team for the long run if the Bengals had drafted him. Keeping the Ohio State guy in state and going to Cincinnati. That's a great pick by the Bengals. The Bills, their receiving core was so unbelievably bad this year. You don't want to know how bad it was. And you're going to take Chris Godwin out of Penn State. In my opinion, he's well worthy of a top 10 pick. Has really broke out for the Buccaneers over these past few years. If it not for a torn ACL, the Bucs would have definitely gone farther in the postseason. At 11, we got the Saints. Now, they didn't take him at this pick, but we're going to keep him on the team. Alvin Kamara has been so dominant for the Saints. They went with Marshawn Lattimore in the spot, but as we all know, he is off the board. But Alvin Kamara, he's really a great running back. And has been a lot of the Saints' offense the past few years. And the Saints keep him on their team. Now, my favorite team, the Browns, I think you go best player available here. Their roster was so bad at this point in time. And I think you go with George Kittle here. I think he's probably the best player available. You took David Njoku earlier in this draft. Later in this draft. You get the pick right here. Take George Kittle. The best tight end in this draft. And he would still be on the Browns team today if they drafted him at pick 12. Cardinals at pick 13. This upcoming season, Chandler Jones would have just a ridiculous year. But you get someone to go alongside Chandler Jones, right? Because he didn't really have anyone that helped him out, especially on the interior, the defensive line. So I think you take Jonathan Allen here. A great player. Don't know he's still here at 13. Now the Eagles. This might be a little bit early, but the Eagles, in their Super Bowl run this season, they definitely did not have a true great wide receiver. I think you get a big body guy like Mike Williams. Well, you did have a number one guy like Zach Ertz, but he's not a receiver. You get Mike Williams, a big body receiver. I think he does pretty good this season for the Eagles. 15, we got the Colts. Their pass protection was just so bad with Andrew Luck. You get protection for him in 2018. I think is when he came back and played. You get protection up front for Taylor Moton. Who's been very good for the Panthers in his career. The Ravens. I think you just keep his pick, right? With Marlon Humphrey. He's been very good for the Ravens, and I think you take him because he's been so good for the Ravens. And if he's still on the board with the Ravens, they're absolutely thrilled. 17, we got the Washingtons. They were called something else at the time, but the Commanders. And I think you take Dalvin Cook here. This might be a weird opinion. I like Antonio Gibson nowadays, but they really didn't have much back, right? They had Adrian Peterson, but he was so old. He wasn't really a true starting running back. The Commanders are just... This would be their offense this season. And he would be their offense. And he probably still is their offense today if they drafted him at pick 17. The Titans at 18. With Tre'Davious White still being on the board, he's just such a lockdown guy. I think the Titans previously went Adoree Jackson in this spot. You take the best corner and you take the better corner in Tre'Davious White. The Bucs at 19. I think I'm going to go with Budda Baker here. And originally the Bucs took the athletic freak in O.J. Howard, who has really just dealt with injuries so far in his career. The Bucs get Budda Baker. Just imagine a tandem of Budda Baker and Antoine Winfield in future years. That would be a very, very talented duo. The Bucs really, I didn't really see too many holes in their roster, so I just went best player available. 20, we got the Broncos. Then we go with Garrett Bowles. They definitely made the right pick here. If they weren't for the Garrett Bowles pick, their offensive line would probably still be bad today. Garrett Bowles has definitely been quite solid. Did take a bit of a step back this year, but in his 2020 season was very, very good. 21, the Lions. And I'm going to go with another running back here. I'm going to go with Joe Mixon. He's been very good for the Bengals so far, and the Lions really have not had really didn't have a great running back that year. Where I think they came close to making the playoffs or made the playoffs. So they didn't really have a true running back when I look back at their roster. 22, the Dolphins. And we're going to go with another running back. Truthfully, the Dolphins did not have a great running back this year as well. I'm going to go with Kareem Hunt. If it weren't for his off-the-field issues, Kareem Hunt would probably be a top 5 running back right now in the NFL. He had an electric rookie season where he led the NFL in rushing. Kareem Hunt was so good as a rookie. And he was just very good as a rookie for the Chiefs. Off-the-field issues ultimately hurt his career. 23, Giants. We're going to go with Hassan Reddick here. If I remember correctly, they had like a decent pass rush, but they didn't have a great pass rush. Hassan Reddick has definitely been serviceable and recently just got paid due to his back-to-back great seasons for the Cardinals and Panthers. Now he's getting paid in Philadelphia. The Giants take him away. 24 is the Raiders. Their secondary is still not exactly fixed today due to what they've done in the past. I'm going to take a pretty good corner. He got paid last offseason. Wasn't exactly elite with the Jags, but once the Jags hit some people alongside him, I think he'll be pretty good. I'm going with Shaquille Griffin, the corner, that previously played for the Seahawks, now plays for the Jaguars. The Raiders get a player there. Texans. This was a year that J.J. Watt was injured a ton. Jadeveon Clowney is going to leave soon, as J.J. Watt is going to leave somewhat soon. You get a pass rusher that's going to stick on your team. And, where is he? Trey Hendrickson out of Florida Atlantic. Was really lackluster for the Saints and then broke out in his last season with the Saints right before getting paid by the Bengals and then helped the Bengals to a Super Bowl appearance. 26 is the Seahawks. Again, truly did not have a great running back. And they really haven't since Marshawn Lynch left the team. They're going to go with Austin Eckler here. The 407th ranked player, undrafted out of Western Colorado. The Seahawks get a running back that Russell Wilson can track down out of the backfield. Pretty good pickup for the Seahawks. The Chiefs. I think I'm going to go with another dominant pass rusher here in this spot. That's going to be Carl Lawson, who's really just gotten consistent pressure throughout his career. I think with the Jets this season, we could see some truly great production out of Carl Lawson. Finally, as we really haven't seen it yet, but this upcoming season with the Jets, I think he will be pretty decent. 28 is the Cowboys, and I have them in this spot going with a safety because their safeties this year were Byron Jones and Jeff Heath. What's the issue here? Byron Jones is a cornerback, first of all. He's not a safety, so you need a safety one. And Jeff Heath was awful for the Cowboys. You take a good safety here, Marcus Williams. Other than the Minneapolis Miracle, Marcus Williams was phenomenal. I think I just messed up my draft on that. I don't think the Saints had this pick, right? I think it was top of the second round. So I'm only going to 31 because I think the Patriots had like a scandal or something this year. Can't guarantee it, but I think that's what happened. So 29 is the Packers. I'm gonna have them going with Aaron Jones. I think they definitely made the right pick in the spot. They would not have a running back the past 5 years if it were not for the UTEP man, University of Texas. I don't know what these El Paso, I think. Yeah. But he went in like the 5th round. Packers get him in the 1st round, which is definitely not ideal for the Packers. But they get their starting running back. Second to last pick, we got the Steelers. I just can't risk this man not going 1st round. And I'm going to go with Eddie Jackson. Was dominant for the Bears one year. I think it was like 2018 or 2019. he was very, very good for the Bears, and it's definitely been very solid for the Bears throughout his career. In the last pick of the first round, I'm going to go with Deion Dawkins here. Has been a very good starting tackle for the Bills. The Falcons have not necessarily got it right on the O-line, like even today. Deion Dawkins will be a mainstay there on the Falcons O-line. So that is my 2017 redraft. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. This took, like I said, a decent amount of time to make. Not like too crazy, but I definitely had fun researching all this stuff and making this video as well. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video.